When people think about Ethiopia, the first things that often come to mind are its ancient history, its diverse cultures, or its famous coffee. But in recent years, Ethiopia has been quietly making a leap into the digital future. From mobile money services transforming the way millions handle transactions, to a nationwide rollout of digital identification and sweeping reforms that are opening its economy, Ethiopia is beginning to reinvent itself in ways that few might expect. Today, we're exploring Ethiopia's digital transformation, where it came from, where it's going, and how it could shape the country's future. Ethiopia is the second most populous country in Africa, with more than 120 million people. For a long time, however, its technological infrastructure lagged behind much of the continent. Until fairly recently, Ethiopia had some of the lowest internet penetration rates in Africa, and telecom services were monopolized by a single state-owned operator, Ethio Telecom. Internet access was often slow and expensive, and very few people had access to banking services. But things started to change in the past decade. One of the most visible signs of Ethiopia's digital leap is the explosion of mobile money services. Mobile money refers to financial services that are conducted through mobile phones, allowing people to send, receive, and store money without needing a traditional bank account. This has been revolutionary in countries like Kenya, where the service M-Pesa became a global success story. For a long time, Ethiopia resisted adopting mobile money due to state restrictions. But this changed in 2021 when Ethio Telecom launched Telebir, Ethiopia's first major mobile money platform. Telebir quickly gained traction. By 2023, just 2 years after its launch, it had already surpassed 34 million subscribers. And by 2025, that number had grown to over 60 million registered users. For a country where only about a third of adults previously had access to formal financial services, this shift has been massive. Suddenly, millions of Ethiopians have a way to save money securely, pay bills, transfer funds, and even access small loans, all from their mobile phones. The rise of Telebir and similar services has also opened the door for financial inclusion on an unprecedented scale. Rural communities, which often lacked banks or ATMs, now have access to financial services through their phones. Street vendors and small businesses can accept digital payments. Farmers can receive money directly for their crops without needing to travel long distances to banks. For the Ethiopian government, mobile money has also provided a powerful tool for increasing tax collection, fighting corruption, and improving transparency. But Ethiopia's digital transformation goes beyond mobile money. Another major pillar is the rollout of digital IDs. In the past, Ethiopia lacked a modern, universal identification system. Many citizens had no official IDs, making it difficult for them to open bank accounts, access government services, or prove their identity in legal or business settings. To address this, Ethiopia launched a national program to provide secure digital identification to its citizens. By mid-2025, over 12 million people had already received their digital IDs, with millions more expected to follow. These digital IDs are linked to biometric data, making them secure and harder to forge. The system is designed to integrate with financial institutions, government programs, and private businesses, creating a digital ecosystem where identity verification is much simpler. In practice, this means Ethiopians can use their digital IDs to open bank accounts, register businesses, or even vote in the future. This move is part of a broader effort to modernize Ethiopia's economy and bring more people into the formal system. By reducing reliance on paper documents and cash transactions, the government hopes to create a more efficient and transparent economy. And for everyday Ethiopians, having a digital ID means easier access to services and greater participation in the country's economic life. Another crucial aspect of Ethiopia's digital transformation is the liberalization of its telecom sector. For decades, Ethio Telecom held a monopoly over telecommunications in Ethiopia. But in recent years, the government began opening the sector to competition. In 2021, the Ethiopian government awarded a license to a consortium led by Safaricom, allowing it to operate as the country's first private telecom provider. This was a historic move, ending Ethio Telecom's monopoly and signaling a broader commitment to economic reform. Since then, competition has brought new investments, better infrastructure, and cheaper services. Mobile penetration, which had been relatively low, skyrocketed. Internet access became more widespread, and the cost of mobile data dropped significantly. In just a few years, Ethiopia has gone from being one of the least connected countries in Africa to one of the fastest-growing digital markets. The impact of these changes can already be felt in many parts of the economy. Digital startups are beginning to emerge in Addis Ababa and other cities. Young entrepreneurs are creating apps and platforms that cater to local needs, from ride-hailing services to online marketplaces. International companies are also taking notice as Ethiopia becomes a more attractive destination for investment. The government has supported this shift through initiatives like Digital Ethiopia 2025, a strategy aimed at accelerating the country's digital transformation. The plan focuses on building digital infrastructure, improving access to internet services, supporting digital entrepreneurship, and integrating digital tools into education, health, and agriculture. The goal is to make Ethiopia a hub for digital innovation in Africa, while also ensuring that ordinary citizens benefit from new opportunities. Ethiopia has also received support from international organizations. The World Bank, for example, launched a program in 2025 called Ascent Ethiopia, which is providing over $400 million to expand electricity access to millions of people, with a strong focus on powering digital services. Efforts like these are helping to bridge the gap between rural and urban areas, ensuring that digital transformation reaches as many people as possible. Of course, challenges remain. Despite rapid growth, about 2/3 of Ethiopians still lack regular internet access, and infrastructure in rural areas continues to lag behind. Digital literacy is another issue, as not everyone is familiar with how to use mobile money or digital IDs effectively. There are also concerns about privacy, surveillance, and data security as more personal information becomes digitized. Political and economic instability also play a role. Ethiopia has faced significant internal challenges in recent years, from conflicts in regions like Tigray to inflation and economic pressures. These issues can slow down or complicate the country's digital progress. International investors sometimes hesitate to commit to long-term projects in Ethiopia due to concerns about stability. And yet, despite these challenges, the progress made so far is striking. Ethiopia has gone from being seen as a country lagging behind in digital services to one that is now leading the way in certain areas, particularly financial inclusion. For millions of Ethiopians, mobile money has already changed daily life. For others, digital IDs are opening new doors to opportunities. And with competition driving down prices and expanding coverage, access to the internet is steadily becoming more widespread. The bigger question is what this transformation means for Ethiopia's future. Digitalization could help Ethiopia diversify its economy, moving beyond traditional sectors like agriculture and textiles into areas like technology, services, and digital entrepreneurship. It could also make the government more efficient and transparent, reducing opportunities for corruption and improving service delivery. For young Ethiopians, who make up a large portion of the population, the digital economy offers a chance to innovate, connect with global markets, and create jobs. At the same time, Ethiopia's digital future will depend on how well the country manages its challenges. Expanding internet access to rural areas, ensuring privacy protections, and maintaining political stability will all be crucial. The country will also need to invest in education and skills training so that its citizens can fully take advantage of digital opportunities. In many ways, Ethiopia's story reflects the broader trend happening across Africa, a rapid leap into the digital age, fueled by mobile technology, financial innovation, and youthful energy. Just as Ethiopia once shocked the world by becoming the only African country never to be colonized, it may now surprise the world again by emerging as a leader in digital innovation. Ethiopia's digital transformation is still a work in progress. But if the momentum continues, the Ethiopia of the future could look very different from the Ethiopia of the past. A country once defined by its ancient empires and rural traditions could become equally defined by its digital services, its startups, and its role in shaping Africa's digital economy. As always, if you're considering traveling, investing, or moving to Ethiopia, it's important to do your own research from multiple sources, since conditions can change quickly. But one thing is clear. Ethiopia's digital transformation is one of the most fascinating stories unfolding in Africa today.